Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, the government has put many measures in place to try and save the economy during the lockdown. But on a personal level, each of us is still responsible for our own finances. And in times like these, we must be extra careful.
Absolutely. So we're now joined by Sarah Nicholson, who is, of course, the commercial manager at Just Money. So important.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, you know, our incredible president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has put in a lot of, things in place to save the economy. The Ruperts and the Oppenheimers have literally come out like golden boys to save South Africa during this time. But I must be honest, while everyone is now in lockdown, when a lot of people are panicked about the health concerns, about COVID, I think a lot more people are worried about the financial implications. What does this mean? What does this lockdown mean for South Africa during this time, from a financial perspective?
Look, I think it's really important for all of us not to go into panic. It's our first reaction is to panic. We've all got that underlying anxiety at the back that we're thinking about, what are we going to do? Am I going to get sick? And what am I going to do about my money? So it's really important, just like we said, the government has put things into place. So don't panic. Avoid fake news as much as possible. Go to reputable sites where you can get the information that you need. And then also remember, the government is spending money right now to try and save lives and support the economy. Since the global financial crisis has happened, they've taken a lot of steps already to support the banking system. So this means that they have increased capital and also looked at how we can improve the liquidity. So there are steps being taken. What else? They've also put into place, or they are trying to ensure that money continuously flows into the businesses and into our households. So we know as South Africans that when times are tough, we really do pull together. So it's important that during this time we remain resourceful and compassionate. We can absolutely pull together and get through this time.
I think for a lot of people with jobs and, there's maybe a little bit more security if you know that you've got your pension and your medical aid and stuff paid off. But my concern is for the ladies who have got the spaza shops, who go and sell chips and sweets outside schools, if that's their only income. Freelancers, there's so many artists that are now unable to work. What happens to those people who don't have that income and then still have to cover their monthly expenses, bonds, rents, medical aids? I mean, what happens there?
It's a really tough situation to be in. And I know, again, we've got the government that has put into place a lot of measures to go and to specifically help this. I think the president has really, listening to his speech, he really considered this. You could almost feel that he's really taking care of those specific people. You just felt like we've got somebody that's really standing up for the people that need it. So he's put things in place to go and help with this. It's not a time to shame and blame yourself. A lot of us don't have 6 months worth of salary saved up that we've got tucked away somewhere that we can use. It's a good time for all of us just to also have a look at what savings we do have. What can we expect in the month coming up? If we've got things that we know that we need to spend money on, are there things that we would usually not maybe spend money on? Like, let's say, they would maybe go and eat out once a while.
Yeah, but this is a very tough financial lesson for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people are sitting back now, biting their nails, going, shucks, what am I going to do? And realizing, oh, you remember when we watched on Afternoon Express and they told us to have some savings tucked away for a rainy day? Well, now is that raining day.
It's pouring,
Only
honey.
now it is pouring germs.
It's pouring.
It is that time. I think we've got a bit of a, not advantage, but we won't necessarily be spending as much money on travel, eating out, and family entertainment.
Yeah, we're saving on that.
So take those savings and either use them to pay those bills that you're not going to, or put them aside. Put them aside.
So, Sarah, a lot of people, a lot of South Africans right now are dealing with debt. It is just a scary term to deal with. And now going into this period, it kind of causes uncertainty, concern. So standing with debt on a very personal level, how does one stand and what can South Africans look forward to?
So many people are worried about their debt. Am I going to get a salary this month? I mean, so many people don't have those questions answered. I don't have those savings. What am I going to do? So take the savings that you do have, I'm going to repeat this again, the savings that you've made, put them aside. But when it comes to debt, the best thing, if you can, try and use your savings to cover your debt. Take that smallest bit of debt, pay it off as soon as you can. Not necessarily the one with the highest interest rate, but take that small one, because then you feel like if you've paid it off, you've actually made a win, and then it encourages you to do the next one and the next one. But if you're really stuck and you don't know what to do, you're now worried that you're going to lose your car, you're going to lose your house, you're at this like complete feeling of loss. So get hold of a debt counselling company.
Yeah.
The regulator has put these companies, they're around, and they really do help. So you can get hold of them, and they will give you a lot of free tips and advice. And if your situation warrants that you should get debt counselling or go under debt counselling, they will do negotiations with the credit providers.
Yeah.
That
Do you
means
think if you have to take a loan now from a bank, for example, do you think they're going to give it to you like interest-free just because of the... No.
The COVID,
Or do you think some institutions are going to have certain things in place?
it's really risky to look at getting a loan right now, because you don't know what the economy is going to
that's
do.
true.
And the banks might have to change things up and down. So if you do have debt, rather get help from a debt counselling company.
Yeah.
They're going to consolidate that debt for you. You're going to pay one monthly instalment that's already going to be a lot more affordable for you. And that can be up to a period of up to 60
And
months.
what are those companies? Because those aren't loan sharks, hey?
Absolutely not. So many people are under the impression that they are.
Yeah.
They actually save
It
lives.
sounds,
are.
okay, good.
really?
They
I always
absolutely
think a debt thingy, it sounds...
It's not a
debt collecting-
collector,
Oh, okay.
it's a debt counsellor.
Oh,
So they're
okay.
actually helping you consolidate your debt
Okay.
into 1 month.
I thought you wanted to send us somewhere dodgy there for a second.
So, Sarah, unfortunately, you know, a lot of people are falling ill, whether it is just with the flu or whether it is with COVID-19. What should they do?
It's such a good time to see if you do have medical aid and if it's something you can afford. So look at your finances and see if you can afford it.
Do you not have medical aid?
No. I'm going to be honest with South Africa right now, and that's why I'm shocked.
Do you
And
have a hospital plan?
I know a lot of South Africans can identify with me right now, but going into the working space, a lot of us have so many other things to take care of, and I'm ashamed to say, and I know some people can connect, I do not. I want to
But
go
a hospital
for,
plan?
Yeah, so I've got, but like the basic,
Okay.
if something
At least
were
you've got
to
something.
happen, I'm not going to be completely stranded. But in terms of a month to month, so that's why I asked the question, because
Yeah,
girl, I'm
sure.
trying to I don't know what to
No,
do.
I think a lot of people are in the same situation as you.
Absolutely.
But even a bit, if you've got a basic is better than
basic,
nothing.
yeah.
That is a really good starting point. And again, this is such an important time to prioritize. Go look at your finances. Go get some online apps and calculators to help you create a budget and look at what you're spending. Then prioritize and go back, where am I actually spending my money? Am I overspending on things that I don't really need or my family doesn't need? Am I overspending on my car insurance, but underspending on my life insurance or my medical aid?
wow.
So look at things like that.
That's really,
That's
really
good.
good advice. That's actually such a good idea for people to do now in lockdown, is actually sit and spend time with yourself and your finances, because it's such an awful thing to do. But it's a healthy thing to do. It's
I
a
need to
good,
do that.
healthy cleanse.
Get back to the basics.
Yeah. How do you recommend we do it? Like, how do we do
tips?
it? What are tips?
A couple of tips. Declutter. Right, I'm not talking
I'm
about...
so triggered right
I'm
now.
not talking about that kitchen cupboard. I'm talking about decluttering your finances.
Okay.
So get rid of what you don't
Like
need.
all the apps that we've bought, think of that's 50 Rand, 50 Rand, 50 Rand. And when you work out how many 50 Rands you've spent on so many useless airbrushing apps, that's mine. It's such a waste of money.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, take that time to just look at everything and think about what's so important to you and how you can make your money go further.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
You are such a great, great influence in our lives right now. Thank you
Such a
so much for
pleasure.
such fantastic advice.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. I'm definitely taking that going forward in my 21 days. Now, home cooking is another way to save finances and has become essential during this lockdown. So after the break, we show you an easy and affordable dinner that is perfect to make at home. Plus, we get some tips on how to do exercises at home. See you after the break.